Zoom record. Thank you. So Chayava Cheva, Chayava means shadow. Chayava Cheva Bhuvanani Bibalti Durga. So Durga we know. Ichanurupam Apiyasya cha cheshtate sa Govindamadi Purusham tamaham bhajami. So we are exactly into this tattva translation. The external potency, Maya, who is of the nature of the shadow of the Chit potency, is worshipped by all people as Durga, the creating, preserving, and destroying agency of the mundane world. I adore the primeval Lord Govind, in accordance with whose will Durga conducts herself. So you can see this verse is extremely pertinent when it comes to this section on the study. So let's do it together. So what did we cover last time?
Oh, we covered until 32. We did up to 30. We were doing 32, right?
Yeah, I was talking in terms of contents, in terms of tattva. What did we discuss? We'll start off from 31.
I think we have to do the Kariya Shrishti today.
Yeah, very good. That's a good start. So bear in mind that this is the key verse in this chapter 252. Narad is asking questions. And of course, this is in echo with the questions of Maharaj Parikshit that he put up in the beginning of the 4th chapter. Shukadev, remember, took the initiative to take shelter of Lord Krishna because these are very lofty questions. And when it comes to time to answer, that's the beginning of the 5th chapter. And what does he do? Brahma Narad Samvad is going to tell us about this exchange between father and son, chapter 5, 6, 7, and 8, I believe. So by referring to this conversation with those 6 questions right here, that's going to automatically answer the queries of Maharaj Parikshit as put forward in the beginning of the 4th chapter. So we covered quite a few already. We can see, I mean, Gunagadashan, we have to admit, did a tremendous job. I don't know this devotee, but if one day I meet him, I will thank him profusely. Yad Rupam was answered here, see, Yadishtanam, then Yad Shrishtam, and obviously now we are here actually. We are in 31. So, and like Mataji said, that's a good point. We have discussed Karan Shrishti. Karan means?
The causal.
Very good. So we could say that the cause of creation. That's how we could translate Karan Shrishti. Today is the last verse. We're going to start off with 31. So let's together briefly, and I to facilitate you, I keep that poster under your eye so you can refer to that beautiful chart and the text next to it. So let's briefly recap. You can help yourself with the material here. Yeah, Yata Shrishtam. So Yata Shrishtam means you go back here.
The system creation of the universe.
Yes. How is it created? Shrishti, Shrishtam. See the same root, Shrishti, Shrishtam. The Sanskrit it's a declination type of language, like German or Latin. So okay, let's start. Just let's recap quickly, up to where we're going to proceed from today. You have everything under your eyes. So what happened here, Mahavishnu?
Mahavishnu is going to glance on the material nature.
Yes, which is called basically, technically,
The casualization.
the pradhan.
pradhan, definitely. So that, go ahead. I don't want to steal your words. Go ahead.
No, so Mahavishnu glances on pradhan,
Yes.
and then there is agitation of, so practically after the glance, from pradhan there is the production of Mahatattva.
Yeah, but don't go so fast because here, those three terms are very important. We are talking about the contents, the constituents within the glands. We should not forget, huh? 1, 2, 3.
So, okay, so within the glance, there is karma of the jivas, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And then swabhava, the nature, the nature of the swabhava, is that the nature of the jivas or
Exactly. It's, we could say the nature, exactly. But not the spiritual nature,
yeah, the
I would say
conditioning.
the condition, intrinsic condition nature that follows us from one incarnation to the next.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, the key element is kala.
All of time.
Yeah.
So along with all that, so we understand that the three modes, the material nature, it's inactive when Mahavishnu glances on Pradhan, then there is activation, right?
Yeah, just always remember you are a woman. So Narayani Mataji, my Shastra Guru, used to give the example of the woman. She's not impregnated, and now by the gland she's impregnated. So
Yeah.
there is differentiate, there is transformation within her.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly the same. Exactly the same. Microcosms, it's happening between male and female in this universe, and macrocosms. This is the, on the macro means huge scale. This connection between male and female, but here we're talking about the supreme male.
Mm-hmm.
And we can see it doesn't need his masculine organ to impregnate. Angan, yasya, sakalendri, avritimam. Just by his glance, he can.
Right. Yeah.
So she's pregnant. She's going to be pregnant now. Material nature is going to be pregnant.
Mm-hmm. So material nature, okay, let's carry on like that. Now material nature is pregnant. There is going to be transformation, and the material nature is also has there is under the effect of the three modes,
Yes.
mode sattva. So the three modes is mode of goodness, mode of passion, and mode of first you Mahat Tattva in sattva, Sutra Tattva in Rajasa. I don't know much about Sutra Tattva.
Yeah, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explained it's a byproduct of Mahatattva. It's not very explicit. Personally, I never heard this term. Vishwanath, that's all he says. It's a lower form of Mahatattva. What is Mahatattva, for the sake of everyone here? How could we define Mahatattva? You can also draw from Gita.
Is it the 16 elements?
It's more than that. We could
That-
say the Mahatattva is the reservoir of all the products of material creation. How many of them?
24.
24. And like you said very aptly, the modes have kicked in here. Okay, here they are not agitated, they are totally inactive, they're not even separated, can you imagine?
Mm-hmm.
There's no mode here. They are not even, see, originally the original mode is goodness. So here, Pradhan is, see, it's totally equilibrium. It's very nicely put, equilibrium. Then transformation. She's pregnant, so the baby is in gestation. How do you say? The baby is
Yeah,
is
it's
growing.
developed.
Something's gonna happen. So, and the I would say the factor that keeps on transforming. Oh, sorry, let me put the let me hurry up before I lose everything. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Very good. So, what is the factor that enables material nature to always be transformed unlimitedly? You mentioned it, Nisha, just now.
Yeah, the modes.
Exactly. Krishna says in 14.5, the material nature is constituted of the modes. Just like your sari or my dhoti is constituted of one thread. That thread is being woven vertically or horizontally. And that makes for a dhoti, that makes for a sari, that makes for a sweater, that makes for whatever. So you can, my dhoti, my piece of clothes, yours, everyone's, it's just made of one thread, which is being woven. So there's, in the same way, the whole material nature is made of the modes. Very simple.
Mhm.
Yesterday I explained Tejo, Velividam, Yata, Vinimayo, Yatra, Trisago, Mrisha, remember?
Mhm.
Whatever we see is a transformation of the modes. Not only on this planet, anywhere in the creation. It's a transformation of the modes. So Amrisha,
Only in the material creation, right?
yeah. The whole material creation is a transformation of the modes. So, how can we put our faith is something which is always transformed? That is why material nature is whimsical, because it's always transforming itself. 216, Nasati Vijati Bhava, Nabhava Vijati Sataha. What is sat doesn't change. What is asat keeps on changing. Okay, so let's carry on. What is
So
the
as
first element that comes out from Mahatattva?
can we can we say mode of goodness?
Yeah, before that, the very first, see, the modes are influences, but they are not products. They are just influences. So the very first element, I would say, call it element, is ahankara. That springs forth, that bursts forth from Mahatattva. What's the meaning of ahankara?
False ego.
Yeah. And false ego, that's definitely tamagun. Why?
False ego is, false ego will definitely keep you away from Krishna
Exactly.
and make oneself live on the bodily platform of life.
Exactly. By the very name, false ego, how can you trust that guy? It's false. Falsity. It's falsehood. There's no reality. In Chateau Shloki, we will see in the 9th chapter, Krishna says to Lord Brahma that whatever appears to have any value, my dear Brahma, if it is separated from me, it has no reality. See? As soon as you conceive of yourself or anything in life that is separated from Krishna, it has no reality, no standing. It's asat. And unfortunately, everyone is everyone's life is based on this false illusion. So that is the very first. You cannot function in this world unless you are endowed with a false ego. Just like if you want to go deep underwater, you need to be equipped. It's a foreign element. So you need an outfit and you need a bottle, or even two sometimes, an air bottle. In the same way, you cannot enter this world unless you have a false. But see, remember, because bear in mind the svabhav of the living entity has pushed him from his previous vasana, from the previous glands. He has been in the abdomen of Mahavishnu for eons of times. And now his svabhav, 7.5, aparayamita svanyam, prakriti vinime param, jiva bhuta mahabaho, yayidandayate jagat. He wants to exploit the resources of material nature for himself. That is his svabhav. It's a guilty, it's a sinful. So that is why, see, because of that only.
Can I interrupt you, Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji, go ahead.
So what I understand is before Mahavishnu even glances on the Pradhan, so is it that there has been a cycle where there has been total annihilation, all the elements and even the jivas merge in the body of Mahavishnu, and now after some times, now there is recreation again,
Exactly.
and
We're coming from that. We're coming from that cycle. We are Jiv Shakti.
and so where is when Mahavishnu is glancing on the Pradhan, where is the Pradhan at that time? It's in his body, or he?
Yeah, in his body, and he's going to manifest it. He's going to manifest it. And see, today there's a beautiful, actually, look at my question. Let me go back to the homework. It's written here. The cloud. Prabhupada puts it very nicely in today's lesson we will discuss. The cloud. It's a spiritual cloud that forms. And that's going to be the Pradhan. It's a spiritual cloud. We will discuss, I think it's in
Because I'm trying to picture it, like vision it. Okay, I know Mahavishnu.
33, you'll find the answer. Yes, very good. In a corner, I'm answering my own homework question, what to do. I was asking you here, is the material world within the spiritual world? The answer is right here in 33. In a corner of the spiritual sky of Brahmajyoti, a spiritual cloud sometimes appears. And the covered portion is called the Mahatattva. So the Mahatattva is a transformation. Let's go back to the diagram. So the Pradhan, this is the original form of material nature. In other words, who is Pradhan? That is the consort of Mahavishnu. Who is the consort of Mahavishnu? What is the name?
Is she Mahalakshmi?
No, it's Ramadevi. She's called Rama with a long A. Ramadevi. So
Brahma. How do you spell it, Prabhu? Brahmadevi?
Ram is with not a small Ram, Rama.
Oh, Rama. Okay.
So let me find the chat. Is Prabhu there? It's totally, I'm surprised. It's totally.
I know. Like we
Notable.
didn't.
Rama Devi. But it's a long, very long A, like Draupadi, Krishna. When you say Krishna, it's Draupadi. Rama, it's Ramadevi. So just like God is a couple, always bear in mind. Radha Krishna, Sitaram, Lakshmi. You don't say God is one. God is one, yes, but he is one as a couple. Let's put it this way. Lakshmi Narayan, Ramadevi, and even down in this material creation, again, Durga and Shiva. You know, they're not God, but they are the functionality of the divine couple. So, okay, let's carry on because I want to move on. Ahankar, so the false ego, basically that's the soul. The false ego means what? What is the real ego?
The real ego is I'm the servant of the Lord. My constitutional position is to serve.
Yeah, Jivera Swarupai, Krishna Nityadas, Krishna Tatashta Shakti, Beda Beda Aprakash. So we are one and different from God. We are meant to, we are manufactured. We have been built as a servant of God. The soul is servant of God. But we have minute free will. So if we know that, then we're going to be exposed to the modes. The modes are going to catch us. 1322, Purusha Prakriti Stohi, Bhungti Prakriti Jangunam, Karanam Guna Sangosya, Sadasa Jonijan Masu. We are Prakriti, but we want to enjoy. No, I'm Purush. Don't you understand? I'm Purush. Purush Abhiman. I've got this enjoying spirit. So in order to function apparently so-called as different from Krishna, we have to be endowed with this. The verse is 11:237. Mayam vitya binivishitasa syat ishadapetasya vipaya smritihi. As soon as you absorb yourself, abhinivishita means to absorb yourself in something that seems to be different from God, then what is the outcome of that? There's going to be immediately something happening to you. Vipayaha is going to reverse your condition. We are servants of God. We are built like this, but we want to absorb yourself in something apparently different from God. The reaction is we become opposed to God. Either we say, I'm God, or even worse. What can be worse than God? Than to say that I'm God? I am the competitor of God. That's even worse. So this is the verse, 11:237. And then because of that only, everything happens. Anusmriti, forgetfulness, you are a jiv, you forget everything. Tadva Vibrahma, you forget your own identity, you forget the Lord, you forget what is the function of natural nature. Bayam, very fearful. Can I make it? What will I eat tomorrow, etc. So this is Ahankar. And now the influences of material nature are in full swing. And look at the breakdown. Someone can explain? Goodness. So this is the good part of it. Karta. Karta means the doer. We are 5 doers according to Gita. It's well explained here by Prabhu, this Gauranga Darshan. See? Jnana Shakti, that's Sattva Gun, or Vikarika, we say in Sanskrit. So that's going to break down as Adideva. You are aware that, yes, there are demigods, 33 million. That's a governing principle. They govern the universe. And the first element, look at this, you may be surprised, the mind is a product in the mode of goodness. And the devatas, the original sense devatas, who are those? We discuss in verse 30. They are here.
Dig.
Dig means directions, like north, west, east, south. But within each, between the two, you find northwest, southwest. So there's directions. They're in charge of the directions.
But that makes 8 direction. What is the 2 of yours? 10 direction. We always mention in the scriptures the 10 directions.
Yeah. So they are here. The 10 directions. This particular demigod, actually there are quite a few. they rule the 10 directions. So let's say you travel south, that's a particular demigod ruling that southern part of the country or southern part of the planet. Surya, Vayu, they are big. It's called presiding deities. Ashvin Kumar, you're breathing. That's why it's connected to the nose. Varun, you taste. Oh, it's a good prasad. You can 7 tastes should be in a good meal. You can taste. You got what do you call it? Papille gustative in French. Buzz. What is it called in English? Tasting buds. Oh, I forgot. Indradev, the hands, feet, Upendra. Upendra is not Vishnu, it's a demigod. Agni, Mitra, Prajapati.
Upendra, is it not the brother of Indra?
No. Yes, very good point. But actually, Jiva Goswami explained in this particular context, it's a demigod. It's not Upendra, the what do you call it, Vamandev. No, they have the same name. So now, passion. This is, bear in mind, we're talking about Karan Shrishti, the cause of creation. So then Karan means the cause. Sometimes it's translated as instrument, Kriya Shakti. You want to do something. You cannot be always in the mode of goodness. See, your Purusha Abhiman is forcing you. I got to do something. I have to enjoy in a particular way. You have a svabhav. You have to use your svabhav. It's pushing you, your drive to enjoy, your drive to control. It's pushing you. So automatically it breaks down into passion, sooner or later. And for that, it's another Shakti of the Lord, Kriya Shakti, which is Rajagun, Tejasa. Okay? Adhyatma. For that, what's the meaning of Adhyatma? Remember Gita mentions?
Adi Atmika with the something.
Basically, Adhyatma, if you look it up in the Gita 8.3, Arjuna is asking, what is Adhyatma? This is the nature of the soul. The soul is Adhyatma. So when we enjoy, because remember, body is dead. So how come you can enjoy through the body? Your soul, the soul, is lending its energy to the body and mind. As simple as that. Just like you have a computer, it's dead. But it's connected. I just plugged in my computer, remember, for 10 minutes ago. So now my computer is active. It's not working on battery. It's working on the what do you call it? On the electricity of the building. So it's alive, it's happening, it's a mode of passion. So what happened is the soul has lent its energy to Ahankara. And then from Ahankara, it breaks down according to the modes. And what is coming out of that? Pran. What is pran? There's 10 pran, remember? Means the vital air. 5 major, 5 minor. When you yawn, when you pass stool, when a lady delivers, this is a particular pran pushing the baby out. So, and again, what else will be produced from that? The 10 senses, 5 and 5. The five working organs is mentioned here, see? And the 5 knowledge acquiring senses. And intelligence. Intelligence is passion. See, oftentimes devotees get it backwards. Intelligence is goodness and mind is passion. No. Intelligence is the product of passion. You are scheming out to do
So you're telling mind is the product of goodness?
Yes, exactly. That's very important to understand. The mind is meant to be in goodness. Yoga
Okay.
in the Yasamyama.
So in Bhagavad Gita, it's mentioned the intelligence is higher than the mind.
Yes, because the mind is meant to be a friend to the soul to advance spiritually.
Yeah.
Originally, the mind is in goodness, but because we have been in this material world since time immemorial, the mind became polluted quite badly. So now the intelligence is going to act. You know, mind cannot do anything. Mind is stupid. Mind is it's a binary function. Accepting, rejecting, vikalpa, sankalpa, vikalpa, sankalpa, vikalpa. The mind cannot act upon its whims. It needs the intelligence. Intelligence is very powerful. It's more powerful. But the intelligence, by definition, discerns, discrimination. And the intelligence will scheme out. Actually, people advance in life, even in material life, due to the intelligence. You know, I want to do this. So the intelligence will tell you how to go about fulfilling that goal, the step by step. This is not the mind. The intelligence will help you to fulfill your goal, whether it be spiritual or material. And now we're going to discuss today the Karya Shrishti from today. Karya Shrishti, what's the meaning? Karya? It's a question of the homework.
Karya is the effect.
Very good. See, first question. Karya Shrishti, effect, very good. So we discussed Karan, Shrishti, and now what is the effect of this creation? So it's happening here. See, Dravya. Dravya means the Pancha Mahabhut. Remember we discussed a little further above, Dravya. Remember the 5 components of this universe, they are non-different. Vasudeva is God. Dravya, the Pancha Mahabhut, air, water, fire, ether. Kal, calm. Calm means it is what is producing your body. Why do you have a gross body and a subtle body? Because you have karma. Karma means fruitive activities. You want to take another body because you have more desires to fulfill, more desires. So that's pushing you. And svabhav, you are triggered by your fruitive activities, but you have a particular way to enjoy it. She's got another particular way. Everyone has a particular way to enjoy this world. And we are Jiv. So the Dravya means the Pancha Mahabhut. Let's go back down. See? Dravya Shakti. And now Adibhut. We discussed in the Gita 729.8.3. What is that? Adibhut means the governing principle of material nature. See? And that's the mode of ignorance, because again, we want to enjoy separately. And Krishna is so kind, he's giving us, okay, you guys can go inside this Adibhut, this material nature. And for that, the Tanmatra, very important components. What's the meaning of Tanmatra? See? The sense object. Because if you have senses, we have 2 and 2 times 5, okay? But you have, if your senses are not attracted by the sense object, there's not going to be further entanglement. You follow? So what entangles you in this world more and more is those 5, the Tanmatra, the sense object. And the senses are attracted by the sense objects via the medium of the mind. What is the mind's job? It's like a marital agency. It's matching the male and female. So the senses, they're going to be attracted by the sense objects. You have a pair of ears, right? And it's manipulated, it's led, it's orchestrated by demigods, devatas. That's their job. They enable you to hear. That's their job. They're Vibhutimat Sattva demigods, they're called. They are each part of your body. You blink your eyes. That's a demigod. You breathe out. You breathe in. That's a demigod. Everything is happening by the demigods. They are part of the Virat Rupa. But remember, unless the Virat is activated by the consciousness, Vasudeva consciousness, then even demigods will remain still. So again, you got 2 sets of senses, and they are attracted. Let's start from the beginning. This is the first element, the Pancha Mahabhut, the Dravya Shakti, Pancha Mahabhut, Akash, ether. Okay? And what is the subtle, within Akash, what do you find on the subtle form? The sound. As I said so many times, we are scattered all over the world. I could not hear you. You could not hear me. We can do so because ether is all-pervading. You follow? Within and without. So we can hear. And of course, because we want to hear, and unfortunately, we want to hear things separately from Krishna due to Ahankar, we are given a set of ears. See, this is the mode of ignorance. We want to enjoy, so Krishna has provided us, okay, don't worry, I'm going to give you sense object. You want to hear stuff? Okay, hear the Beatles, hear Rolling Stones, hear this, hear that. So that's Krishna is giving us the way to enjoy separately from him. Otherwise, we cannot do it. And then it's going to break down. Ether, within ether will come the next element, touch. And you can only touch things because of the element of air. And because you have hands, and your hands, on your hands, there is skin. And the skin portion of your body enables you to feel what you touch. Oh, it's very, very hard. It's very smooth. It's very rugged. It's extremely slicky, extremely, you can assess whatever you touch is very soft, very hard, very cold, very hot. That's because of the air portion. And that's because you have skin on your hands. You even on your feet, you walk on something. Oh, it's a very soft feeling when I'm walking on now. Oh, it's very hard. There's so many little stones everywhere. You can assess, why do you think when you walk barefoot on parikrama, people are, you are walking very slowly because the pebbles, it's hurting you. You can detect this is pebble, this is grass, this is sand because of the air element. Then it broke, and each time the subsequent previous element will remain in the previous one, how do you say? As you move towards Earth, it will include all the previous elements. See? So air, then form. Form is due to fire. So if there is no sun, you cannot see anything, isn't it? No forms, you cannot see the world, you cannot see individual forms, and you are given eyes. Your eyes are attracted by the form. The sense object that corresponds to the eyes is form. Why? Because that's the product of fire, and it's ruled by Suryadev. Okay? That breaks down further. Taste. You have a tongue for that. Krishna is so kind. And within it corresponds to which element? Water. And you have saliva. You have, how do you say, birds, tasting birds in your mouth. It's because of the saliva. Oh, this is salty, this is pungent, this is bitter melon, Corella. You can assess and appreciate taste because of water in your mouth. Why? Because you got a tongue and it's ruled by Varun. Now, further down, the last one, smell. You can see when you are in water, you can hear the sound. So all the previous elements are incorporated, are included in the final ones. You follow? When you cook something, you boil something on the pressure cooker, you will see water will come out. See? So water is included in fire. And the final one, the smell. And that's the byproduct of earth. And earth includes all the previous. In earth, you find water, you find fire, you find air, you find ether. And you have been given a nose. It's run by Ashwin Kumar. See how technical it is, and this is the absolute truth. Okay, that's a recap. Are you okay? You totally became silent.
Yeah, there's lots of information to collect, to gather.
Yeah, but do you understand a little bit?
Yes.
Because we have been, you should be able to explain that because you're going to be teaching Bhakti-Vibhav, you know. This is not the end of the world. It's not like rocket science. As you gradually you go slow.
Yes.
And remember, Krishna Narad tells 1.5.20. What does he say? 1.5.20. He explained that that's why we cannot separate. As soon as you separate the material from spiritual, this is mine. So yes, idami vishvam bhagavan ivetaro. See, Narad is telling the Supreme Lord personality is himself this cosmos. You cannot say separate from, because it's non-different. All these things are happening by the grace of the Lord. Why? Because when you go all the way up, who is there? And Mahavishnu is a kala, is an expansion of an expansion of an expansion of an expansion of Krishna.
Wow.
So at the end of the day, this breakdown is very interesting, but at the end of the day, it's happening because he impregnated Pradhan, the lady. Otherwise, nothing is happening. As simple as that. So even Narad is very much aware. So he's himself the cosmos, but he's aloof from it. You're not going to start worshipping, offering incense to, you could do that to the universe, but the best is offering incense and dhup and deep and flowers to the Shaktiman, the possessor, that is Krishna. Or from him only this cosmos has emanated, in him it rests, it goes back into him. So you can see, and this is the philosophy of Bhagavad Dharma, of Chaitanya Bhagavad. Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, so let's move on. 31. Tejasat tu vikurvanat, indriyani dasabhavan, Jnana Shakti, Kriya Shakti, Buddhi Pranascha Tejaso, Stotram Twa Grana Drig Jiva, Vagdo Medangri Payavaha.
By further transformation of the mode of passion, the sense organs like the ear, skin, nose, tongue, mouth, hands, genitals, legs, and the outlets for evacuating together with intelligence and living energy all generated. So you explain about it.
Yeah, in one sense, sorry, in one sense, we kind of covered. Now we're going to enter Kriya Shakti. So let's see the homework. Let me see. I've got something perhaps. That's 31. No, 31 is not there even. 31 previous verse or something. So what's very interesting here at the end of 31, this mode of passion, however, is the product of the air element. Did you notice? How do you understand that?
This mode, however, is the product of the... Do we understand that? No.
Prabhu Moshika, are you there? Okay, let's hear Jiva Goswami.
We can send message.
Sorry?
Oh, No, I'm trying to see if Murshikar sent any message because we can't hear him.
Yeah, it looks like, I don't know. It's anyway, at least
Yes,
it's
he's
present
here.
in the ether, in the Akash form.
Yeah. And we changed time for him, eh?
No,
So
for me also, because I'm going to work also on mornings.
yeah, it's not going to be easy. We can again change. Huh? I'm trying to.
I cannot. I will be working also during weekdays. So
Yeah, I know, but at this time of the day, even because it's late in Vancouver now. Anyway, we can figure it out. Feel free to contact me and we can again change. So 31 we just read out. See, again, we're going back in the chart. Pran, Rajas is Buddhi, intelligence. Then the Shakti of the 5 knowledge acquiring senses. Let's go back here, perhaps it will help you. So
yeah, you mentioned the prana.
prana is here, see?
Yeah,
That's the mode
that,
of passion. See, when
no,
in the body, the prana do not die. Actually, the
the
soul,
prana is the life air, right?
exactly. There's 10 of them. 5 and 5. 5 minor, 5 major. So when you die, the pran will carry your soul to the next destination. The pran, that is why the yogis are so keen on living. We have different apertures in the body, right? You know that. We have 9 gates. And we know the yogi, they want to live from the Brahmarandra. So what's going to happen is the pran will carry the soul from the region of the heart to the gate that you want to live through. A materialist will unfortunately live from the anus, a yogi from here. A devotee, oftentimes you have seen Srila Prabhupada lives from the mouth.
So there is a link with the Sikha.
Yes.
Keep the Sikha because usually the life air leaves the body through the hole where the Sikha is. Is it that?
No, the Brahmarandra is totally not on the Shika. Shika is much below. Brahmarandra is on top of the skull, right here. That's not so much our path. Our path is Vaishnava, Gaudiya, Bhakti. That's more for the Ashtanga yogi. They live from the Brahmarandra here. And we have discussed in the 8th chapter of the Gita. There's a good time for it. There's a bad time for it. They have to choose. So let's go back to Jiv Goswami. And the pran, because you need pran. More you have pran, more you can do stuff during the day. People are very active. They have a very good pran. So if you are very energetic, you can accomplish a lot in the day. You have a very good pran. And that activates your organ, the actually active organs and the 10 senses. Okay? So then pran obviously will help you to be passionate. Teja. Teja means passion. And you need active senses. More, if you have good legs, you can run fast, you can, you are good, let's say sexually, you are very good, you have a lot of pran, Buddhi, Tejasa. So as I told you many times, it's mind-boggling, but the intelligence Tejasa, Buddhi is the mode of passion. Because unless you have intelligence, you cannot function in life. You cannot do things. You cannot accomplish anything. Jiva Goswami is quoting a verse. Okay. See, it's very interesting. It's not our lesson, I know. We'll discuss next canto. But even sleep is a sign of Buddhi. Why? Because unless you sleep, you cannot have intelligence. So sleeping a good number of hours is a sign of intelligence. Doubts, in the beginning, it's a sign of intelligence. If you keep on doubting all life, no. But in the beginning, it's a sign of intelligence. false knowledge. Unfortunately, Buddhi, that's the problem in this material world. We contemplate wrong topics. Let me study scuba diving. Let me study geography. You know, that's false intelligence. That's avidya. Okay, so let's move on. 32. Yadete sangata bhava putendriya manoguna yada yatana nirmane nashiku brahmavitam.
Okay. Oh, Narad, is it on? Okay, Krishna. Oh, Narada, best of transcendentalists, the forms of the body cannot take place as long as these created parts, namely the elements, senses, mind, and modes of nature, are not assembled. So, there was a big thing about this assembly, like the assembled,
Yeah.
because so then this is the Kriya Shrishti, and how do they do and get mixed, right? So Prabhupada is talking about the tree and the human being's body and how we are assembled, because the assembly of the elements, which consist of the 5 senses and 5 elements, and the modes, right?
Yeah.
So I think it has to be assembled to be perfect. Like
Yeah. So 32 is quite revealing. First of all, we have nothing to do with the assembling parts. Remember the Gita, 13th chapter, the Kshetra, the Kshetragya. And the Kshetra is the body, the Kshetragya is the knower of the body. You may be assembling, Prabhupada gives the example here, like allied motor parts. You have seen how they build on assembly lines, they build a car in no time. They put the doors, they put the chassis, they put the tires. It's all automatic. But unless one driver one day is going to purchase the car and drive off. So you may be assembling everything. Yes. But you need a jiv. But here in 32, we are talking about the assembling of the elements. The assembling of the elements, basically. Hare Krishna. So this is the point of what we are discussing on the study here. So everything is here. So let's hear Jiva Goswami on this one. 32. So what he does, Jiva Goswami, he studies 32 and 33 together. Perhaps we should read 33 before we digress on it. Tada samatya chanyonyam bhagavat shakti choditaha sad asadvam upadaya chobayam sasriju yadaha. Please read out 33, then we can discuss. They go together.
okay, 33. Thus, when all this
I'm reading Mataji. Thus, when all these became assembled by force of the energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, this universe certainly came into being by accepting both the primary and secondary causes of creation.
Yeah.
So
Try
here-
to explain, please.
So what I understood according to Prabhupada's purport is that Krishna himself, he doesn't get involved in the material creation.
Yes.
He expands himself just as we see Mahavishnu, which is the expansion and the expansion of the
Yeah.
Supreme Lord. And then also by his plenary portion. And we understand, as you mentioned, there was in the question also,
No.
that the material creation is, it happens that there is a spiritual cloud that sometimes appears in the spiritual, wait a minute, in the spiritual world, and the material world is within the spiritual world.
Exactly. That's important to understand.
And we see beginning with Mahavishnu, and yes, as you mentioned, that cloud that appears,
Yeah.
and it's called Mahatattva.
Yes.
And then Mahavishnu, which is the plenary portion of the Lord, and he lies down in the water of Mahatattva. So from there, we understand that Mahavishnu, being within the causal ocean, he generates innumerable universes out from his breathing. So here I'm little confused. I understood that the numerable universes comes out from the pores of his body, and here I'm hearing it comes out from his breathing.
Yeah. Both. Both.
Okay.
It's all happening from everywhere from his body, from the pole.
Okay. So once the universes are out, then Mahavishnu enters each of the universes as Garbhodakshaya Vishnu.
Yes.
And from Garbhodakshaya Vishnu's navel, Brahma, there's a lotus stem where
Yes.
Lord Brahma will be born, and Brahma, as we know, being the second creator, he's
Yes.
going to create, he's going to create the he will become the secondary creator.
Yes.
And yeah, and also there's mention, see, there are two modes of material creation. One is the creation of the collective universe,
Yes.
and another that's done by Mahavishnu.
Yes.
And then there's the creation of the single universe.
Exactly. Good. So we should never separate those two. And Jiva Goswami doesn't separate. So yeah, let's discuss a bit further because it's a bit technical, but it's interesting, and we should not think, well, it's low class, you know. No, it's within Bhagavatam, so it's very important to understand fully as far as possible. You will see coming up soon. There's a verse of Brahma. He says, "Well, I cannot figure it out all." So even Brahma. So let's discuss Jiva Goswami. They should be taken together, those two verses. Sad asadvam, did you see in 33? Primary and secondary. Impelled by the Shakti. See, remember, Krishna is full of Shakti. Look at 33. Bhagavat Shakti Choditaha. This is the Shakti. He's got Parasya Shakti Vivideva Shuyati. He's got unlimited energy. This is a very powerful Shakti. What is this Shakti? The primary form of the Shakti is Pradhan, and the secondary form of the Shakti is the gunas, the modes. So this Shakti, what does it do? 33 Bhagavat Shakti Choditaha, it's mentioned here. She conglomerates. You understand conglomerate? It's like compacting Shakti. See? It's compacting Shakti. Look at our body. We have 24 elements, and the soul is within these 24 elements. And since we have been thrown into Pradhan for a long, long time, can you trace it back? When you've been thrown in the glands, we're not talking about kalpa here. We're talking about the origin of the creation. Brahma is not even created. So we cannot trace it back. It's called Anadi Karma. So this Shakti, what does she do? She compacts around the Jiv, due to Ahankar, she compacts all the 24 elements. And this Shakti belongs to whom? Look at Jiva Goswami. Bhagavat Shakti, this it belongs to whom? That's Ramadevi. Ramadevi is the consort of Mahavishnu. Who is Mahavishnu? The first Purush, the first Vishnu. He's an Amsh. He's not a Jiv. Amsh means plenary portion. Of whom? Of Bhagavan. So, it's a Shakti. See, Krishna is doing stuff through his Shakti. You understand? Krishna doesn't do anything. Krishna is not even in the picture, by the way. Krishna is Goloka Nivasati. He lives in Golok, reveling in pastimes of love and with the gopis and the gopis. But here he has delegated the whole thing to the three Vishnus, starting with Bhagavan, Amsh, that is Mahavishnu. And he's got a Shakti also. He's God himself. So his Shakti is Ramadevi. And it conglomerates. Coming together by the impulse of the Lord's energy, accepting primary pradhan and secondary forms made of the three gunas, they create the body of the whole universe and the individual bodies in it. See? Very well explained. We cannot produce things ourselves. We cannot produce things ourselves. Krishna is resorting to activating one of his Shakti. He doesn't do it himself. This is the problem with Mayavadis. They're thinking, oh, there is something happening, there is something getting transformed. It means God is affected. God has become transformed. They're so foolish. This is the path of Maya, Mayavad. They are thinking when the world, the universe is transforming, God must be impacted. God must be penalized by this transformation. They're so foolish. Little do they know that when the energies transform themselves for the sake of creation, he doesn't become transformed. You follow? This is why they're putting their foot in their mouth. They are thinking there is change, so God is affected by the changes. His Shakti are transforming, Achintya Shakti, but he doesn't change. He's in Golok. This is the thing. So let's go back to the questions. She answered, Alinishta. What is the background of things according to 33? Interrupt me if you feel that it's unclear. See, Prabhupada answer in 33, the before last paragraph. The chief engineer of the material creation is the Lord himself. It is he only who directs the material nature to produce all sorts of moving. What is the verse? Majadakshina Prakriti, Suyate Satchalachana. Aksha. Aksha means eyes. Under his eyes, under his supervision, she's acting. Nothing can happen without the Lord. Just like here in the diagram, that element is not different from Krishna. Kalosmi lokakshayakrit pravrido. I'm the time, my dear Arjuna, and I destroy all the worlds. Krishna is always behind everything. This is the point. You find it interesting, Shrishti, Tadva?
It is interesting when you start understanding it.
Yeah. That's why, it takes many exposure, like for me, now I have a little is, but in the beginning, I'm telling you, I was like you, even worse, perhaps. When, Buddha was teaching people those days. But as you become exposed to it, it starts to make sense, It's very captivating. Bhagavatam is very captivating. Okay, let's move on. Varsha Puga Sahasrante Tadandam Mudake Shayam Kalakarma Svabhavosto Jivo Jivam Ajivayat.
I'll read. Thus all the universes remain thousands of aeons within the water, the casual ocean, and the Lord of living beings entering in each of them caused them to be fully animated. So here, what did I get?
There's
Um,
questions.
Yeah, for that one, I got, you asked the question, why is the Lord called Jiva, right?
Yeah, it's quite
One-
peculiar.
Okay, the reason I got to hear is because he's the leader of all the jivas of living beings and he's Nitya too. And the Lord, a living entity is like the Father, like they give an analogy of the Father and the Son. So, and then we know there's a quality and quantity difference. There's a big quality and quantity difference in that.
Yeah.
And he's called the Jiva because he's the contact of this, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He's the contact of all living entity and the relationship, right? And he's also the part and parcel, like we are the part and parcel of the Lord. He's the ultimate source and the maintainer of all the lives.
Exactly.
So we are eternally connected. And it doesn't seem like that in material world, but we are connected to him.
Yes.
That's why he's called Jiva.
And we don't see him, and that is why people fall into atheism, because just like Krishna says in the Gita, and the example of the necklace, you don't see the thread. A fool,
Yeah, it's
a fool will think, well, the necklace stands on its own. No, there's a thread, but you don't see the thread. So Krishna is
yes.
behind.
Yeah, that is an analogy in some way I read too when Prabhupada gave that analogy, like the pearls hanging on a thread, or right?
Yeah, that's Gita.
Yeah.
So, see, my questions are here. So you answered one.
And then what is the meaning of Hiranyagarbha? Hiran is gold, right?
Hiranyagarbha means, according to certain...
It's a golden worm or golden egg.
Yeah,
It's the cosmic
specifically...
manifestation of the Lord from
Yeah.
which the material universe emanates.
Yeah, basically in plain and simple words, Hiranyagarbha means, in this context, Garbhodaka Vishnu.
Yeah.
Prabhupada mentions here. So let's go and listen to Jiva Goswami. The Lord Jiva is called Jiva, the Purush, situated for creation using time, karma, and svabhav. Remember, don't forget the diagram. Remember? Right here. The Purush is Mahapurush, is Mahavishnu. He's using those three, Kal, Karma, and Svabhav. This is what Jiva Goswami is saying. So called because he brings to life, entering the universe by his portion. What is his portion? Hiranyagarbha, Garbhodaka Vishnu. We discussed, remember, there's two modes of natural creation. The big Vishnu, the collective, he creates all the universes. He's I would say, the supreme soul of all the universes. Then the second Vishnu, Hiranyagarbha, Garbhodaka Vishnu, he enters each universe. So Garbhodaka Vishnu is the Antaryami, the super soul of each universe. And then finally, it's not mentioned here, but we know, Kshirodakashayi Vishnu is the super soul of each jiv. A snail on the salad is another jiv. Within the salad there is Antaryami. Within the giraffe, within the lion, within the human being, within the demigod. That's the third Vishnu. So we are brought to life by his portion. Portion means Garbhodakashayi Vishnu, Hiranyagarbha. He is going to bring to life this universe. Because again and again, I'm telling you, it's mentioned here, Ajivamandam. Universe cannot move on its own. Even though all the elements are there, the demigods are posted in their respective position. So Ajiva Mandam, look at 34. Ajiva, what is it written? Yes, Ajiva Mandam. The totality of the jivas is called Samasta Jiva, actually, in Sanskrit. Is going to manifest the collective mass of the jivas. And those jivas, remember, because they have a proclivity to enjoy separately from the Lord, they're going to transform matter. Of course, the main ingredient is karma. That's the main ingredient. But ingredient number 2 is the svabhav of the jiva. Why do you think this world is constantly moving and transforming? Because the karma is there, but also we, the soul, the jivas, we want to enjoy. So you have seen, oh, let me exploit let me drill oil from the earth in Saudi Arabia. Let me do this. Let me extract gold from this mine. Let me create a big factory here. So we are transforming matter. But unfortunately for goals which are separated from Krishna. This is the problem. And because of that, we become entangled. So this is the point of Jiva Goswami. This is beautiful. Okay, let's see if I got more questions for you here. 34.
34.
What's the connection of the universe with the Lord? Well, sorry. We cannot answer already that. We cannot answer. We cannot, I mean, we answered with 1,520 and before. Remember? Narad, 1,520.
Oh, what is the connection of the universe with the Lord?
Yeah, then
Because
say,
those relationship is the ultimate course and source. Because he's the sustainer and supporter,
yeah,
right?
yeah. That's why we cannot say separated. He's separated, but he's not separated. We will see that in the Shatoshloki.
Okay.
He's there, he's not there. It's always the same philosophy. Achintya Bhedabhed. He's there, he's not there. He's there through his energies, but he, Bhagavan, Shri Krishna, Shama Sundar, is in Guru. Or Mahaprabhu is in Navadvip. Everything is happening by dint of his Achintya Shakti, transformation, but he is doing something else. So it's like Bill Gates. Everything is happening automatically with Microsoft, but Bill Gates is doing something else. He's playing golf somewhere in the Bahamas Islands or something. Okay, so let's carry on. Where are we?
34.
Yeah, go ahead. 35.
35.
Saiva Purushastasmat Andam Nirbidya Nirgataha Saha Shrovangri Bhavaksha Sahasranana Kirtavan.
The Lord Mahavishnu, although lying in the causal ocean, came out of it and dividing himself as Hiranyagarbha. He entered into each universe and assumed the Virat robe, with thousands of legs, arms, mouth, heads, etc. So, when I'm reading the purport, it's mentioned that every universe is situated in different parts of the Virat robe. But then in the translation,
No,
it's mentioned here.
there's one Virat per universe.
Yeah, yeah. But then it's, see in the translation, it's mentioned that he enters into each universe and assumes the Virat robe. So my understanding is Krishna, I mean Mahavishnu expanding at Hiranyagarbha, then he enters each universe as Virat robe. Now it's mentioning in the purport, within each and every universe, now the universes are situated in the different parts of the Virat robe.
Yeah, actually,
I'm,
you're right.
I'm little confused
No,
here.
you're right, actually.
Okay,
It's
but
like,
you know, when I was reading this, I just thought he, because of his plenary portion, because he can divide, he can do anything, but he's not divided. Like he's just like he's there, he's not there, right? So if even if he's divided himself, but he still remains the whole.
No.
Am I right or no?
Yeah,
No?
but she made a very good point. Actually, see, each and every universe are situated in the different parts of the Virat. So here it appears that the Virat contains all the universes. It's funny because I read differently elsewhere. Let's go to the Gita. Okay, anyway,
Prabhu, my understanding is not that all the universes are in one Virat robe. I understood that in the Virat robe enters in each universes. Now in the purport, it appears that
yeah, very confusing, I have to admit.
now
Because
in the
let's
purport it's
go to
mentioned, yeah.
Gita 11:1. Not here. Yeah. No, this is what is, yeah, 11:1. Anyway, I have to make a search on that because it's quite confusing here. The expansion of the planetary systems within each and every universe are situated in the different parts of the Virat. Within each and every universe are situated the expansion of, let's see what Jiva Goswami says. 35. That Purush who was the doer pierced and went outside the universe is situated inside and outside since he's all pervading. His form is described. He is celebrated as Narayan in the Purusha Shukta. So when we sing Purusha Shukta, actually we are glorifying Garbhodakashayi Vishnu. I forgot my external drive, otherwise I could have looked at. But I'm going to make a search on this one. I'll take a step back.
So do you agree that the translation is not in sync with the purport?
I personally, I'm a little confused, I have to admit, because I've seen other conclusions. Here, like you said very correctly, it seems that the Virat contains all the universes. The expansions of the planetary systems within each, because we know there's 14 planetary systems per universe, we know. Within each and every universe are situated. I'll be careful, it's a complicated sentence, see? The subject of the sentence is what? The expansions of the planetary systems. See, no, you have to understand the grammar of the sentence. The expansions of the planetary system, that is the subject. And the clause is within each and every universe. So, in other words, we know there are 14 planetary systems per universe. That's situated in the Virat. This I agree. This I understand now. It doesn't mean, Arnishna, that all the universe are within the Virat. Within each and every universe qualifies the subject. What is the subject again? The expansions of the planetary systems. Where are they? within each universe. And those expansions are situated in the different parts of the Virat. Okay? Now I understand. You follow? It's a
Yeah, no, I mean, I understand you, but you see in the translation, suppose let's imagine we have a balloon
yeah.
and there's a person that goes inside the balloon.
Mm.
So translation makes me understand that he enters in each universe and assume the Virat.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, what I understand, actually, it's a grammatical understanding, but I think I'm totally correct. You have to search for the subject. It's
Yeah,
simple.
yeah. No, I
The
think I understood what you said. It's clear.
The verb is situated. And now where is the subject? Subject is expansions of the planetary systems.
Yeah.
And then there's a clause. In grammar, we say a clause, which modifies the subject. Or within, the subject is within each and every universe are situated. So what is situated in the different parts of the Virat? The expansions of the different planetary systems. See? So that makes sense now. It means there's 14 planetary systems in each universe, we know, are situated in the different parts of now I understand. Then it tallies with Bhagavad Gita.
I know. And next verse that tells us more too.
Yeah. So I just want to go back to the diagram because it helps. It's quite graphic. Remember, we are into Karya Shrishti. So the ingredients were ready, but in an unmixed state. The Lord entered. We discussed in 33. Bhagavad Shakti Choditaha. He is going to enter via his Shakti. And what is that Shakti? It's a conglomeration Shakti. It's a compacting Shakti. She's going to make the bodies. Compacting energy very well. And they took who? The Jiv. They're going to take primary. Primary means pradhan, it's matter. And secondary forms, it's the modes of nature. Thus creating the body of the universe. So, in other words, the Lord entered each universe as Mahavishnu. We know. He is going to enter as Garbhodakashayi Vishnu, sorry. He's creating the body of the universe. And then inside each jivas, that is in the form of Kshirodakashayi. And then, very interesting, we're coming to that next verse. For 1,000 years, Hiranyagarbha, which is Garbhodakashayi Vishnu, basically, nothing's going to happen. He's not going to create. He's not going to create. He's going to take 1,000 years, which is enormous. He's called the Jiva, we discussed. Hiranyagarbha means is the sum total, is the soul of all the Jivas. Let's put it this way. So, in other words, it's Garbhodakashayi Vishnu.
So Prabhu, for the 10,000 years of inactivity,
1,000.
1,000. So what does the Jiva do at that time?
The Jiva is not there as yet. Because it takes some time. Let's discuss further. Perhaps it's explained in the coming verse. Where are we? 30.
36 we'll read.
Yeah. And then it's going to be the expansion of the Virat. See, right after, starting from 36, we are again discussing the second. We're going to discuss about the Virat again. We discussed about the Virat in the beginning of the canto. So it's very interesting to note that after 1,000 years of inactivity, not immediately, the assembly is done by Maya Shakti, 33, Bhagavat, we mentioned Bhagavat Shakti Choditaha. She assembles. The Lord doesn't do anything. He delegates to his Shakti. Maya is doing that. And after that, perhaps he meditates on the Lord, on Lord Krishna, Yoga Nidra, certainly something like that. He enters, after 1,000 years, he enters. And he's going to make it alive, basically. And then the Virat. The Virat is the display. Prabhupada says the Virat is the godless display. Very interesting, huh? Godless display. But the Virat is what? Virat is the external
form of the Lord.
Yes, Arinishna?
It's the external form of the
Yeah.
Lord.
Exactly. The full display of material elements. And it's, you could say, well, it's not needed. No, 1147 says in the Gita, it's a product of the internal Shakti. Be careful, you cannot belittle the Virat. But it's not meant for us, we know. Those who have had time to understand Krishna is God, little boy walking barefoot, holding prasad in his left hand. Okay, perhaps they can accommodate more, relate more to the Virat, because that's the full, enormous, or humongous display of God. It's enormous. You have seen Krishna Arjuna in the Gita. He's on his knees practically, trembling, crying like a boy. So much he's afraid. Okay, so at least we are on the same note. And now let's enter 36, unless you have questions. Yasye hava yaver lokan kalpayanti manishinaha katya adibir ada sapta saptodvam jaganadibihi.
Great philosophers imagine that the complete planetary system in the universe are displays of the different upper and lower limbs of the universal body of the Lord.
Alors,
So,
that's a good question. Why Jiva Goswami and even Prabhupada at different places says that it's imagined. See, it's a tricky topic because 1147, Krishna says, Gita, it's a product of the internal Shakti. How can it be imagined? That's getting tricky. So let me go to 1147. I want to prove my point. See? Like, my dear Arjun, happily have I shown you by my internal potency this supreme universal within the material world. See? And then we hear 36. Jiva Goswami says, and Prabhupada oftentimes said that too. Imagine form. The wise imagine the planets as its limbs, buttocks, below, 7 lower planetary systems, 7 upper. So how to reconcile? Kalpayanti, look at the purport. Imagine. See, Prabhupada goes on to say, he echoes with Jiva Goswami. See? The Virat is an imagination of the speculative philosophers who are unable to adjust to the eternal two-handed form of Lord Sri Krishna. Although the universal form is as imagined by the great philosophers, is one of the features of the Lord, it's more or less imaginary. So try to, it's not so difficult actually to answer. What can you say? See, we remember we discussed way back in the first canto, there's 2 features to the Virat. What is the gross feature and what is the subtle feature? Let's start with the gross feature. I think
The gross feature of the Virat is
the bones,
his external body.
Yeah,
the
the mountains, you see the
of
mountains
his
are the
body.
bones.
Yeah.
The rivers, you see the Ganga, you see the Amazon River, the Nile. These are the veins of the Virat, of the Lord. Is the trees are the hairs on his body. So it's there, it is there to facilitate the layman but it's somewhat, it is imagined to facilitate them, just like you facilitate a boy in the class, or when you do his homework, you facilitate him, you facilitate his understanding. Sometimes you use his imagination so to teach him. You follow? But ultimately, 111, Satyam Param Dhimahi. Who is Satyam Param Dhimahi? This is Yashodanandan. This is Satyam Param Dhimahi. And we know Advaitam Achutam Manadim Manantarupam. Advaitam Achutam. So all these forms of God are Advaita. That is why in 1147 Krishna says, oh, it's coming from my internal energy, be careful. Because it's Advaita. Achyutam means infallible. Anadim, they have no beginning. Of course, you may say the Virats as a beginning, because unless and until, just like you see here in this section, unless and until there is Garbhodakashai entering each universe, there will be no expansion of the Virat. You follow? So why the Virat we say is temporary? Because the Virat is following the expansion of the universe. If there is no universe, there is no Virat. Very simple, you know. So just like the material nature, Krishna says in the Gita, is Vyakta Avyakta. Remember? Let's go to 8:20 Gita. See? Krishna says, yes. Remember? He goes 8:19. And he goes, yet there is another nature. That's the Sanatan nature. It's transcendental to this manifested and unmanifested matter. Matter is always just like you see a bulb in your room. It's called alternative current. Actually, it's on and off. You don't see, because the speed of light is 300,000 kilometers per second. So to your naked eye, you're saying, oh, it's always on. The light is on all the time. No, it's on and off. But it's going so fast. For you, for your eye, which is extremely, my eye also, I wear glasses also, so extremely imperfect, it seems that it is eternal light, constant light. No, it's alternative current. So in the same way, the universe is either on or off, manifested or unmanifested. And Krishna says here, but, my dear Arjun, there is another nature. Vyakto Vyaktat, see? There is material nature is either Avyakta. When Mahavishnu doesn't glance on Pradhan, it's Avyakta, it's unmanifested. Most of the time it's unmanifested. Just like a woman, most of the time she's not pregnant. She's going to deliver perhaps 3 kids, 4 kids, okay? But she's going to live 70, 80 years. Most of the time she hasn't been pregnant. So in the same way, the material nature is most of the time, it's not pregnant. It's within the abdomen of Mahavishnu. And when he condescends to glance, then she's becoming pregnant. But beyond those 2 states of affair, there is the spiritual world. This is the point of Krishna.
I also understand it as, you see, there is a country, and only when there is a need, then the government build a prison.
Exactly.
So material world come into manifestation and is activated just for the jiva to go through their karmic reactions. and
Yeah.
fulfill their desires, right?
Yeah, but at the same time, I may add that unfortunately the king knows, the government knows when we're going to structure this country, we have to make provision for the prison house. Even Prabhupada say, where's the prison house? When you look at the blueprint of Mayapur project, he said, where's the prison? Devotees were shocked, but say this, we need a prison because there will be, you will see, there will be always renegades. And sometimes you have seen even murder in this country. So I'm sorry to say, but unfortunately, whoever lives in the material world, they may blow a fuse and do heavy stuff, even devotees. So Prabhupada was quite keen. He said, where's the prison? We need a justice department. We need, because it's such a big organization and it's going to become bigger. We need to watch out. So that's why everywhere you go in the creation, you will find some kind of penitentiary establishment. You know. So let's go back to Jeev. See what he has to say here. We are into 36. Well, it's imagined, we discussed. Okay, it's 7 o'clock here almost. 4 minutes left. So we will start from 37 onwards. It's very interesting. We're going to discuss that. Before we didn't touch on that. We discussed about the primary aspect, I mean the gross aspect, the subtle aspect. But now we're going to see in terms of Varnashram and in terms of cosmogony, you know, all these planets. Where are we here, by the way? Tell me, where are we here? Let's
We are
see.
in the Burloka
Very good.
level.
Om Bhur Bhuva Swa. Om Bhur Bhuva Swa. We are here. But don't think only the planet Earth, and don't fall into that trap. Bhuloka means it's all planetary system. Bhumandal, sometimes we call it Bhumandal. It's very interesting. In the 5th canto, we'll spend a lot of time on this. Anyway, we're going to discuss next time descriptions of the Vedanta. In terms of Varnashram, in terms of cosmogony, see? We are giving all these things to help the understanding. Anyway, so Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Yeah, Moshe Koi, Prabhu is conspicuous by his absence. I don't know. Perhaps he fell asleep or something.
I will find out.
No, but I know he's a busy person. He has a lot on his plate also. Okay, so you like this time, huh? It looks like it suits you. Must
The
be.
thing is, you see, weekdays he's working and I'm also starting to work.
Yeah,
So
so we can again and again change. Huh? It's
morning is difficult.
but you change, not me, you know.
We had to change because of our circumstances change.
But if you want to rechange, let me know. I'm open to discussion.
No, I mean personally, me and Moshikar cannot change because we are working during daytime.
Yeah, okay. And for you, it was from 8 to 10 p.m., right?
Right now it's 10 p.m. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So it suits you. Okay. And Purnashram Mataji, does it suit you?
It's okay. I'm home anyway.
Yeah. It's a bit late, but what?
Thank you, Purnachandra Mataji, for understanding.
Thank you so much. So we'll meet on Sunday at 5 p.m. Or 6 p.m. You guys into 6 p.m. my time, French time.
Yeah. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, everyone.